Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And the marriage. Problems. Uh-huh. So your point. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. You're making a good point. So you are saying that the prophets only come and remind us of our problems and then show us how to solve them, by making certain demands. But they are not pointing us back to God the way they must. That's what you're saying. Okay. Gentlemen, react on what he's saying.
He's right. He's actually.
Thank you very much, sir. Good point.
He's actually right. But I also see it in this way. Most of the time, the prophets come. It's a cultural thing. Mm-hmm. European is more mechanic. And so when he say anything, he will want to examine it. But in our African culture, because we had this in our traditional religion, where you always go and seek, consult. Whenever a prophet comes, we have that attitude. I mean, we are consulting. But yeah, he's right. The Europeans, they also have problems. And so when you give an accurate prophecy and it comes to pass, they will believe that he examined it all right, but it came to pass.
No, but the point I'm making is that they are exploiting our weakness.
Exactly, they are.
Instead of pointing, look, when people are pointed back to God, and when they line up with God, God will move in their lives. But the point I'm making is that
to learn, the reason is that like I brought these things up.
Yeah.
So these prophets sometimes feel intimidated, to go into the Dutch areas where they will, he will examine his prophets.
And prophets are supposed to be bold.
And the truth is that most of them they come in to manipulate. Just as you are saying, some are not genuine. And so that's why you don't get a lot of them going in there, because they know that when they go, they will be examined, and then, their nature will be reviewed. But in the African area, they will just open up and receive. And that is why we get them a lot coming into, like our fold, rather than, trying to go into
and also, most of them don't know how to speak English. They don't know how to
that is another point.
Yes. Sure. And that is the problem.
You mean the
yes,
the good ones or the fake ones?
Even the
both. And okay.
No. Because the mix up here. Look,
yes, because
we are looking for the genuine prophets. Whether they can speak English or not, Dutch or not, if they have a word from God, the word will stand for itself.
We have to understand this, that a prophet is sent. He doesn't go by himself. So when
God himself.
No, he doesn't invite himself.
So when God comes here, then the man is completely right. Those who come here,
he's right.
Those who comes here, they are not sent.
Well, I don't know. But a prophet must be sent. A prophet must be sent. A prophet must be sent to meet a particular needs of the people.
Exactly.
See, so it
means the most prophets actually bringing themselves, not that God sent them.
I would not say.
Some of them just come by.
But when a prophet is sent, you know that the prophet is
okay,
sent.
So when the prophet is sent by God, how do we recognize that this is somebody from God who has a message for the city? How do we know?
The word he speaks.
The word he speaks.
Yeah, the word he speaks. And sometimes, you see, our problem now is we want everything quick fix, as Pastor Elias said. But when you look at
regardless of our problem,
yes,
we want to hear what God is saying to us.
Yes.
So if we begin to focus on our problem, then we will be looking for prophets who will help solve our problems. And that's what we can be.
Number one, when the prophet is sent, God is a God of the past, the present, and the future.
Yeah.
So when the prophet is sent to you, now he reveals the past. He reveals, God tells him, he reveals the past.
Yes.
Then he brings you to the present.
Yes.
Then now he gives you a clear guideline to how God wants you, either to come out from your problem or whatever.
Yes.
So when a prophet is sent, what it does is that according to his message, you realize that yes, we were in this problem, and now this is how our situation is. But God is saying, if you do this and do that, this is what is going to happen. And as a matter of fact, it must be centered on Christ. You see, I will say it again. It must be centered on Christ, because you cannot look at, like, let's say a prophet calls somebody, let's say who is a prostitute, then begins to prophesy to the prostitute. God is going to bless you. Yeah, by this time, this is what is going to happen to you. Blah 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 blah. And God will not correct the situation of the person. You see, so when God is speaking to a nation, as he did in the days of old, he brings them back to the point where they have to realize that they are mistakes and they are sin, and they have to turn from their sin. Then they can enjoy the good of the land.
Absolutely.
That's
okay, so let's say so. I want us to answer the question we were to answer before the call came. Yeah? Thank you very much for being a part of this. We will take a short break and then we'll be back to finish up this exciting topic. This is the Pastoral Forum coming to you by courtesy of Radio Voice of Niger. Stick around.
Baby ceremonies, graduation, anniversaries, engagement calls, all your events can be promoted right here on Voice of Nigeria. Yes, you heard me right. Know about it.